Hey, welcome to another video. We are going for a fly today. So if you guys don't know, I just recently bought a Skyline, and although I absolutely love cars, my first passion is flying. We're going to take the R44 and we're going to fly down south to Mount Ruapehu and go and have a look, because Uncle Tics has never seen Ruapehu from the air, not like I'm going to show him anyway. And then we're going to go over to Taupo airport. We're going to go and get some lunch, just because we can. Okay, so now that we've pulled it out, we're just going to pre-flight the heli. First things first, need to switch on the master. Boom. You see all the lights are on. Check the fuel. We have just about half tanks. While I'm here, I'm going to release the friction on the collector. Make sure that the low RPM horn works. That's all good. Okay. Open up this hatch here. Inside. This is the engine bay. We're just checking for any loose wiring, oil leaks, that type of stuff. Okay, so we're going to start our pre-flight from the gearbox end. These tubes over here are for draining the fuel, so we'd undo this little clip over here, and then there's a little push button here. The fuel would come out of the pipe, and we can actually drain that into a container and check for water in the fuel, but I won't do that on camera just because I don't have enough hands. At the back there you can see we've got a telly temp there. The bearings are running too hot. We have the oil level just over there in the side glass. We have the push pull rod for the tail. Just checking the cable, make sure the wiring is good. Then we have all of these little push buttons over here. These will short circuit the specific circuit and switch the light on inside the cockpit to check that the light's working. So I'm going to push this one first. All of these buttons and push all of them, and you saw the lights come on and off inside the cockpit. Then we put the hydraulic reservoir. Make sure that there's nothing in there. Another little ELT at the back. And then we have our clutch engaging belts. So we want to put our hand on here. Put our hand on here, push those belts and make sure that there's not too much slack in here, because they'll tighten obviously, but if they're too slack then they won't tighten properly. And then just a gentle inspection again. We've got another telly temp in there. Next thing we're looking at is the boom. Got these strengtheners here, make sure that there's no cracks or bolts or anything. The other side as well. We just check the length of the boom, make sure that the boom is nice and straight, and if you look down at the reflection you can see these no coming across, having a look underneath, make sure it's real back, light, make sure that that's in place, make sure the tail surface is all good, nothing's moving. Rear light, yeah. Yeah, for night flying.
Night flying. It's like a beacon.
Yeah, well you have a white light on the back. Oh yeah. You have a green light on the right, and you have a red light on the left. Okay, back to the green light, so the tail here, just move up and down, make sure that it's nicely fixed to the body, onto the boom over here. Check the brackets, check the bolts, check the little knot nuts that on there. Check the vertical stab. Okay. Make sure our stinger is in place. Check our gearbox. So this is our tail rotor gearbox. That over there is the sight glass for the oil. Just check the general condition of it. Check the general condition of the blades. Make sure there's no scrapes or anything like that that's going to affect the blade itself. Run our hand up and down it. If there is something wrong with the blade and there's a little notch in it, your skin will actually catch it. Alright, then we check the push pull rod. All the rods all the way back. back and you'll see that it causes the tail to actually move itself. Then we've got another teletemp underneath here. Very important teletemps. Make sure that all the bearings are running within temperature. The helicopter in general looks good, the skids look good. Right, then back here, got some more of these strengtheners over here. Another one over there. And then we just have a look inside here. That there is what we call the squirrel box, or the hamster wheel. And essentially it's the fan, and you'll see that you have a little line over there. You want to make sure that those lines are lined up. If they weren't, what it would mean is that someone started the engine and they've revved it up really quickly before the blade was engaged, and because that squirrel box is actually made of metal, it'll want to stay in place, and so it'll actually twist out of alignment, and that's how you tell if someone's over revved the engine on startup. Okay, then we have the exhaust. Make sure that that's not loose. Our last hatch. So inside this hatch we have our little dipstick over there. Check the oil, and you'll see that the oil is a little bit below the marks, so we're going to put some oil in it. Have a general look inside the actual engine bay, make sure that all the wiring and cables look good. Nothing is out of the ordinary. If you guys would like to know more about the engine and the different componentries, let me know, and I'll actually take the cowling off and explain the different components that are actually on the engine. Yeah, so one of the last things to do, we released the brake over here, head out over here to the tail rotor, and we're just going to twist it around nice and gently, not putting a lot of stress on it. So we've turned the blades so that the main blade is sticking out on the right hand side and the front of it is on the left, and why we do that is so that I can actually look outside and I can see that the blade is not tied down and that it's not being obstructed by anything, and that's just double sort of insurance policy that I haven't left a rotor tie down on or something like that, because that would be a really bad starting helicopter blade actually tied to the tail loop, and people have done it, so that's why you always have that blade in that position before startup. I've already done it, but in part of the pre-flight we would actually get a step ladder, or there's a certain set of doors you can open on the other side, and you can actually climb up and have a look at the rotor blade and the rotor hub. So up there, when we're having a look at the rotor blade, we've got three main bolts at the top. We've got the flapping hinge on this side, a flapping hinge on this side, two rubber stops that we need to check. There's a whole lot of bolts that run around. We need to check the swash plates, all the different rods, and the teetering bolt right at the top. Another thing, we need to check out the paperwork before we actually go flying, make sure that this helicopter is legal to fly. Right, we're all strapped in, ready to go. You ready to go, bro? Oh! And we're on our way to Taupo. Welcome to Taupo, guys. So we've just landed here. It was only about sort of 35 minutes to get here, and I'm just going to refuel the helicopter, then I'm going to hover taxi it and park it up. We're going to go and have some lunch, and then we're going to be heading down that way, and we're going to go and have a look at Mount Ruapehu. Yeah, so we just refueled the heli, walking over to the terminal building, gonna go have some lunch, relax a little bit, and then we're off
McDonald's! There's no Macca's here.
and then we're off to Ruapehu. Okay guys, so we literally went up to 10,000 feet. We went around, flew around the top of Mount Ruapehu. We went and looked at the crater lake right on the top. Fucking amazing. I've never actually been to the top there, and I got to do it with one of my best mates, Uncle Tics. Fuck, it was good. Really good time. If you are looking at becoming a pilot, especially a helicopter pilot, I mean, flying airplanes, I do that as well, and it's good fun, but there's just something cool about being able to land in the middle of nowhere. Just look at this.